Welcome back to episode 3 of DGZ's Talking Points. We are going to do a walkthrough of our journey through NFTs, isn't that right?
Yeah. Basically, why we got started, what we've bought into, what we've gained or lost, and what do we learn along the way.
We've had an interesting journey. It hasn't been long, but
I think before we properly get into this, we're going to be addressing NFTs by name, just for clarity's sake. So everything that we talk about is purely going to be just a representation of our opinions on said projects. They are not meant to be taken as facts. We're not financial advisors. Please do your own research before you come to a conclusion.
it always makes me laugh because you have to say that, right? Because people can that can become a real problem if you don't. But it always makes me laugh listening to podcasts that talk about NFTs, which is in large part what I listen to. And everybody says like that line, on every episode because they're going to talk about NFTs on every episode. But it's just funny because you would think that people would know that, these two random guys on a podcast are not the, I guess, authority on what is a good buy and what isn't. But some people, man, just get so mad. I bought into this and you said it was going to do well. It's like, no, I said I thought it was. That's why I bought into it. But
okay, I just want just a quick hot take on that one as well. Like, if you for us example, let's say you listen to our podcast. And we're still very early on. Like, we don't have a large viewer. We really don't have a viewer base at the moment. But like the one person that comes across, like, let's say we fucking talk about Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they're just like, and they take that information, they go buy a Bored Ape, and they lose their money. That's on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like we have no established credentials.
Yeah.
And also, it's the internet. Don't just listen to someone on the internet.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh. But that's all right. That's all right. People like to take the advice of others, which isn't in and of itself a bad thing. But just like we said, we're not experts. We have, we've lost our fair share of money in NFTs, of course, but also stocks and even in crypto. So I mean, it's like, we're not super experts in this area, I guess is what I'll say. But
so we're talking about NFTs quite a bit. So I guess the first thing to establish for people who don't know what NFTs are, or what are NFTs? What are these pictures?
They're just pictures, man. That's all I need to know. NFTs,
silly.
They're JPEGs.
Silly six.
That's it.
Perfect. Yeah, podcast over.
All right, see you guys next week. No, NFTs are non-fungible tokens, so they represent something that can't be duplicated. They live on the blockchain. When you purchase an NFT, it's legally yours. Yes. When someone posts an NFT, you can click on it and you can take a screenshot. But the difference is they can sell that NFT. Again, we'll talk about Bored Ape. They could buy that NFT at, whatever they mint it out at and sell it for millions of dollars later. You just have a picture. So that's the difference.
What I find so funny about people that say, why spend $4,000 on a picture when you could screenshot it for free? Mm. That's a valid argument. You know what? I'm not gonna debate or anything. That's a valid argument. But it's also the equivalent of taking a picture of the Mona Lisa and saying it's yours now.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that I would really understand that line of thinking as it pertains to NFTs is if you just simply like the picture and have no interest in the money aspect or the utility aspect of it or anything. You just simply like the picture. then I mean,
Yeah,
even if it's one that I bought, go ahead, screenshot it. I don't care. It's
I will put my Twitter description screenshot my NFTs.
yeah, for real. That's you should. Um, so Grady, why did you decide to get into NFTs? What was that line of thinking for you,
Um,
and how did you come to that decision?
so I know leading up to us actually wanting to get involved in NFTs, we were wanting to get involved in crypto quite a bit, and I'm not gonna lie, I grossly underestimated the market of NFTs. I thought basically everything was going to be a winner,
Mm-hmm.
and we learned real quick that is not the case.
No.
Not everything's going to be a winner because it's just that's how markets works. It's how business works. Like someone could bring in the next best thing, but if they don't get attention, it doesn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I got into NFTs because I like some of the pictures. Like I do,
Mm-hmm.
I like some of the pictures. Um, and I like the community aspect of it as well. Like, like we'll mention this project, talked about this project more. Like, 8-bit, that one, what's it, Curly Fuck or
Oh yeah,
whoever
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. Yeah, just that kind of sense of community, being able to connect with people that you originally thought was like just so far above like the like human, like basic
Yeah,
human
yeah.
experience. So it's just the fact that like it's a better chance to connect with these people and just kind of get to know them a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I
What about
definitely
you?
agree. I think my decision making process on that was relatively simple. I kind of thought, the pictures are, they're cool, and it would be cool to be the owner of this, essentially, JPEG, but be able to have an actual reason to have it other than just it looks cool. Like there's, utilities and things that you can get with NFTs that maybe you couldn't get without having, fill in the blank NFT, whatever it is. Um, but also I would have to agree on the community aspect of it. Like in 8-bit, with Curly Fuck, I got the chance to. It was very short, but talk to him in there, and it was just kind of cool. Like you kind of have something in common with, like you said, people who you might originally think are living above the average person's human experience. They're TikTok famous, or Gary, you have Gary V, who's just famous just in general for all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff. And
Eminem and Steph Curry as well.
yeah,
Like those people.
yeah. And you can have the opportunity to connect with these people and have something in common with these people. Whereas before, take Eminem, I don't have anything in common with Eminem, or with
Yeah,
Steph Curry or whoever. Just again, fill in the blank with a person, but you kind of get that opportunity through these, through any NFT, and um, I think it's a lot of fun to be involved in that, and you get into a Discord server, and there's anywhere between 10,000, multiple hundreds of thousands of people in these Discord servers, and get to talk to a lot of people, get to know a lot of people, and it's a good time to be able to do that.
it still blows my mind because like you mentioned like the tens to 100,000 people. It blows my mind how many people I do not have a mutual server with. Like it feels like I mean like even when I had like quite a few Discord groups for like each NFT, like very little I shared a mutual server with. Like I could click on a random person and it would say zero mutual servers, and it just kind of puts into perspective how big this thing
That's
is.
true.
Like it doesn't like it's not like just some weird small like internet cult type of thing. Like we're talking like we're like so many people, like not even in the United States, just worldwide. So many people have access to this like community thing, and so you get to talk to so many people and get to learn about each individual. Like like I've talked to someone that lives in Germany, Singapore. It's crazy.
Yeah, I hadn't actually thought of that, because you have to assume that those people you're talking to and trying to see if you have a mutual server, they probably have at least 3 or 4 servers on their Discord as well, and to not have one mutual one with a lot of people, the vast majority of people, that's kind of crazy. And like, yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about is people who are, for us, we're obviously we live in the United States. The people that are overseas, there's so many of them, and it's like, you'll, say you're going to bed or whatever in the Discord, and 14 people will reply "Good morning" from wherever, and it's like, it just puts it into perspective. Like, I'm going to bed, but this is the beginning of the day for half the server. It's just interesting to think of.
Yeah,
but
but again, it plays back to that community aspect because it stems further away from. It's not like a United States type of weird money thing. It's just this. Again, I'm beating a dead horse, but worldwide community.
Yeah,
just cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. Okay, so that's why we got into them. Let's talk about our first project that we bought into. So let's see, when was this? This was probably,
I think it was February, mid-February.
Yeah, something like that. Not too long ago.
Yeah, we've been in the game for close to 3 months now.
Yeah, and we've done the crypto for a little bit longer than that, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
No.
But yeah, so we've been in the NFT game for probably about 3 months. At least probably looking for projects for about 4 or 5. Actually bought into one about 3 months ago. And that project was Boombuzz NFT. So they had well, do you want to go ahead and talk about the team?
Yeah, I can go ahead and talk about the team. So it mainly consisted of 2 people, one being the artist and one kind of being the back end coder type of person. They're both semi-doxed. Their Twitter, you could look them up through Twitter, but outside of that, they didn't really have much else going on. I tried to look for a more grounded profile picture or account to connect them to, but I couldn't. So they were pretty active on Twitter, and they seemed legit. They're pretty cool, easy to approach, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I was actually talking to the artist, and his inspiration for creating Boombas was, I think it was the Bob-ombs from Mario. I'm 99% sure that's what it was. That is what inspired it, which is pretty cool. The art was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I like the art quite a bit. It was different than what I had seen before, and looking in the NFT space, I guess, for something to buy into, and it was different. And they had their roadmap, and I enjoyed the art enough at least to buy in. Wow, voice crack. Leave that in. I want people to know I'm a human too, with all this fame and fortune we have. It's got to bring it back down to earth. Leave it in. But I just thought it was at least worth buying into. But as of now, we have not made money on it. We have not made. In fact, we've lost some money on it. But that's okay. It happens, and it's our first project. So, do you know how many they have left to mint? Oh wait, I think it's right here. 314, right?
I think 313.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
That one. Yeah, I don't personally think they will. I don't think they're gonna mint out.
Yeah. Just from an objective standpoint, not feelings aren't really associated with it. It's just I don't think they're gonna mint out. I liked where their heart was at. I liked everything that the group was having very early
Mhm.
on. And I mean, I think they did pretty well with, the team that they had going on, which was being one artist and one coder.
Mhm.
But their utility, I think it slightly missed the mark. They did get staking out fairly early, which is impressive for a small team. And I don't really know the progress on, because they wanted to make a play to earn video game. I don't know the progress on that, or if there's any progress made so far. But yeah, I just the hype ended up dying down. I just don't think they're able to keep the momentum going from their initial launch.
Yeah, so just to be clear, I know you touched on this a second ago. I want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to talk bad about this project at all, and I know Grady isn't either. I loved the team. They were very nice people. They were a lot of fun to talk to for the probably month and a half. We were pretty active in that Discord. I would say very active, actually. We were very active.
We had to have been one of the more active people in there.
And yeah, I mean, I love the team. They seem like great people, and I agree. I think that they had their hearts in the right place, and they were genuinely trying to make this work. I just don't know if they had the experience that's kind of necessary, to like past experience, not even just experience in NFTs. So I'll clarify, past experience to be able to get it off the ground and really get it going.
Yeah. I think part of that's kind of part of the whole, them being kind of like semi docs. Like their Twitter handle, but like there was no track record for them. So like you had no idea what they were involved with beforehand. And I mean, if this is like their first project, I mean that's awesome. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere. You're not like supposed to have 30 years of experience by being at 20 years old. So I hope that, they were able to take learning lessons from what didn't work so well, and they took learning lessons from what did work really well in the future of their project, or if they decide to go down a different avenue with NFTs.
Yeah. And I would say that as far as our choice to get into it for the our first project, I really think it was obviously, of course, we'd love to, make money on the first project we get into and be able to have good utility with it and all that kind of stuff. But that just wasn't the case. With that, I still think it was a good buy, just because we learned a lot,
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, the amount of money that we spent, I feel like at least learning lesson wise, we got what we paid for. I don't know if my fiance listens to the podcast or not, so I'm going to refrain from saying the actual dollar amount because it will piss her off and I will be sleeping on the pull-out couch, and I don't want to do
that. No, I mean, it was enough. We'll say that, but I also think
more than enough.
Yeah. But we went, and we'll get into this project a little bit later. We don't have to go into a deep dive right now, but the transition from that to our second project that we bought into is massive. I mean, it's gone down a lot just because of the way the market is right now, and we're still up a lot of money.
Yeah, we're almost up 20x.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, it's going to keep climbing. I have full confidence in that, and it did. I mean, it pumped big time, and we were up a lot. Yeah. So, but anyway, we can get into that later. But I think, just in case she does listen to it, we did lose a perfectly fair amount of money on that first project, but we are up a even more perfectly fair amount of money on this project. So it balances out.
I think, I think our second project actually covered the losses of our first
Yeah.
one. So that's nice.
Yeah.
I think so we talk about, we spent quite a bit of money on this project and we learned like quite a bit. So like what exactly did we learn? Like, but what do you feel you learned from this project?
I think the biggest thing I learned is while not being fully doxed isn't necessarily a guarantee that it's going to flop. I think my biggest takeaway is I would personally just like to buy into projects that at least has a fully doxed team. Just so I know for sure that there's something. This sounds almost kind of bad. I hope the intent comes off, but they've got something to lose too. They have their reputation to lose. It's not just money. It's, I mean, like we've said, this is a community, and if you don't have a real name to yourself at all, you don't really have anything to lose, you know? I mean, if it doesn't work out, you can just piss off and be fine. But the people with this second project, they're fully doxed and they have a track record of
12 years. Yeah. They have 12 years worth of reputation.
And their reputation screams success based on what they've done in the past, you know? So they are in this really more than we are. I mean, our reputation is for this project is not on the line, but theirs is, you know?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but they've got connections to Gary Vee. And so much so that Gary Vee's tweeting about the project, you know? So it's they have everything to lose. And it makes me feel a little bit better, if I'm just speaking for myself, to know that like they're going to put in every amount of effort and then some to make this a success because they kind of need to.
Yeah, they actually have more to lose than we do. With us, we keep saying we'll get into it, but we're slowly getting into it. We're transition. But anyway,
actually, this is a great time to transition. So let's just go ahead and do it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the project that we're talking about is 8-bit. 8-bit me. Mm-hmm. We threw in $130 combined into this project, and so I mean, if this project flops or whatever, we lost $130. This group, they lose years of reputation. They'll lose the respect of some of the some of the most influential people in this market. Like they essentially will get turned back to nothing. And honestly, the internet doesn't forget.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this, and they're doing a great job. They're I don't think it's gonna flop.
Oh, I'm not worried about it at all.
It's not gonna flop. But this is the risk that they have put on the line to ensure a well done project. Something that has historical value, and they're wanting to resurface it into the new era of the internet, which is cool.
Yeah. I think I'm not worried about this project at all. I think it's having a healthy, the floor is going lower, and it's in a healthy way. I couldn't really think of how to word that, but
I mean, because the mint was 0.06 Ethereum,
something like that. Yeah.
And I mean, and they're still up almost 10 times in a month. Even besides from the big pump, which hit 2 Ethereum, not this weekend, but the last weekend.
It was 2.9. It was damn 2.9. Near 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was damn near 3 Ethereum. And that is just crazy growth. Hold on, I'll do the calculations real quick. So their minting was 0.06 Ethereum, which is roughly $180.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 Ethereum is $9,000. That is what? That is just under a nine. Obviously, it's under a $9,000 profit.
Yeah.
8,820. That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's for like some of the common stuff too, like the one that we have. Like that's what that price would fetch. But like someone that had something a little bit more valuable, slap double the amount on it, and then
Oh, I mean, yeah, I want to say that at one point the highest sales were like 22 Ethereum. I mean, people were selling them for a good chunk of money, and then
like when we bought in at 0.3, people were able to sell like their rarity one for 4 Ethereum.
Yeah.
When the floor price was at 0.03.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we bought in at point. I wish we had bought more. I wish we had,
I know.
But that's okay. It's all good. It's it's still going to be good to have one. I'm excited for the ride with 8-bit and everybody. I love going in the Discord in 8-bit because 99.9% of the people are here for it. Like, they are not going anywhere. Ready for the team to get going. And you think about it, and his socials are just at Addison. He's the guy who kind of started this whole 8-bit thing and is working on it a lot. And he is going full time on 8-bit on the 9th of May.
Yeah, which is like, so for people that don't understand like the importance of that, like Addison, to put it simply, Addison is a busy guy. Like this 8-bit me project is not the only thing he's working on. He's had his hand dipped in several cookie jars. I think he worked with Disney at one point, I believe. Like I'm pretty sure he worked with Disney at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, like on one of their Star Wars sets.
Oh, that's cool.
I know one of them. One of the 5 people were. I just can't remember who. But Addison is the guy that has the connections. He's got the skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so him going full time and actually like giving this project his all in 8 days is going to signify just great things in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be awesome, and it's crazy to think about how well it did just right off the bat without the main dude working full time. I mean, once he is able to put all of his energy into this, and it's gonna be very good. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, not to mention, the 8-bit's also going to be doing a Twitter space this week with Gary V.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like confirmed by Gary V.
Yeah, which I will definitely be tuning into for sure. I will figure out a way.
I hope it's not during when I'm working. I'm gonna be so pissed if it is.
They haven't announced the time, have they? Or no, actually even the day.
It's just gonna be sometime this week. They're probably working out the details this weekend.
Yep. I will definitely make sure to be able to tune into that. And I mean, if you can't, I'll be a studious note taker and pass the notes off to you.
Sounds good.
But
hey, man, can I copy your notes?
No. I can turn them into Gary, man. He said I'm gonna get graded on it. He's gonna steal my 8-bit if I don't get him the notes.
All right, I just want to do a side thing on Gary V for a minute because I just find it so funny. Have you seen the TikTok videos of people making fun of him?
They're so good, dude.
And like you watch those, and then you watch like Gary V, like when he's giving a motivational speech, and like it's not like taken away from like Gary V. He's a great speaker. He knows what he's about. He knows what like the message he's trying to relay. I just absolutely love how people take that and spin it into something that's just so
funny. They just take it to the absolute extreme. There was one I saw, I think it was like yesterday, and this guy was acting like Gary Vee, and basically they were just like talking, and he asked the other guy, so how old are you? He goes, 20. And he goes, and he has like this, the sound of like a flashbang or something going off.
Yeah,
He does that.
yes.
And he like stumbles. And he goes, 20? That's so much fucking time. It's just, and he's like stumbling back. And it's,
oh yeah, oh man, I saw that, and I watched it 3 times. I was laughing so hard.
it's so good.
Have you seen the one where a guy was imitating Drake and Gary Vee, like they're doing a podcast
I
together?
don't think I have, no.
I gotta find it, and I will send it to you. It is first of all, the guy who does the video, just spot on impressions.
Yeah.
Like, is spot on. But just it's so disconnected with how those two are, like, quote unquote talk to each other, because it's like exactly how they speak, but it's like they're speaking not to each other, but just kind of like talking like they're talking to an audience. It's funny.
Man, I love those videos so much.
Oh man,
sorry, yawn.
No, it's fine. So 8-Bit, their project, what's the goal?
I think you mean like with us in 8-Bit?
No, like just 8-Bits. Like what's their project and their goal?
Well,
like what exactly is it?
8-Bit. So I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory. So we said that they have, this decade plus of experience, and a reputation. Well, the reason for that is that they actually had an app, which I actually remember. I don't know for sure if I had it or not, but I remember it being very popular. And it was just an 8-Bit app. You made your 8-Bit character and you could go around and I think there were like some little games you could play inside to earn coins, and then you could, dress up your 8-Bit character in different clothes and do all kinds of stuff. But it was a huge hit. It was, millions of downloads, I'm pretty sure. Like, a massive hit whenever it came out. Obviously, it's 12 years later, and I don't even know if it's on the App Store anymore, honestly. But
probably not.
But that's kind of how they got started. So what they did was they took the art that they used for that 8-Bit art, copied it over to this NFT project, and or copied the style. I'm sure they didn't literally copy and paste, but copied that style of art over to this project and made 8,888. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think, do we even have a full roadmap yet? Because I know that they want to do like some different perks that, they can get you merch or
they
go ahead.
So they kind of have a semi roadmap. Like they know what they want to accomplish. They're just not giving dates, and like that's falling along their principles of under promising and over delivering versus over promising and under delivering, which works. They've been checking some stuff off with their ultimate goal end up being like the Turf 8-Bit Me collaboration, which is going to be really, really cool.
Right.
There's actually talks of 8-Bit Me and Proof, the group that did Moonbirds, like they could be collabing. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
It's rumored. It's not even it's not confirmed yet.
Right.
I say it. You know what? I'm just gonna stick it with yet. It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah, but it's looking very promising. They're working with a lot of people. They have a lot of connections, and it's off to a good start. I know eventually that they want to have some more utilities, and I think we're going to find out more probably once Addison goes full time and he has time to really, really dedicate to this project and create that full roadmap. maybe even with some, maybe not hard dates, but
Yeah, like
fill in the blank is coming in
like
June or whatever.
or just quarterlies, like quarter one, quarter two,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So I think we'll find out a little bit more about exactly what they're hoping to accomplish, like what their end game is. But I mean, I trust this team, and they they've got a lot of big people on their side. So
Yeah, and I mean, like not even just on their side. They just have they have the NFL All Star lineup.
yeah,
Like so I mean, all of these people were the original creators of the 8-bit app back in 2010, and you can look them up on Twitter. Like you can Google them, and you will get like professional results. But you have Addison, Chels, Amadeus, Courtstar, and Major.
mm-hmm.
Like if you Googled any one of those names, you will get results outside of Twitter or Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, they have a great team. So I'm not in the least bit worried about it. I know that some people, whenever they go into the Discord for a project, they're like, "Where's the roadmap? Where is it?" But I'm not worried about it at all. They'll get it figured out. They got some. I think some people might be working on it at least close to full time, and then once Addison switches over, it'll they'll
Oh,
go ahead.
yeah, that. Oh, I was gonna say once Addison goes full time, that's when the gears are going to be shifted and it's going to just take
Yeah,
off.
big time. But so why did you think that we should buy into this project?
So, I was looking around on like YouTube, just kind of just getting more information about looking for projects and all that stuff under my belt, and I came across a thing called Icy Tools, which basically tracks how many sales, like it will track projects by sales in the past hour, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever. And so I just opened it up one morning and I saw that 8-bit me with a floor price of 0.03 just shoot like at the top for sales. I was like, oh, I got to look into this. Like this could be a potential buy. So I go into it. The first thing I see is just people losing their goddamn minds. Not in a good way. Like people are like tearing this project down, saying it's like a rug pull,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Like forwards and backwards, people are just ripping this thing to shreds. And so I was like, I wasn't just going to take that to heart. I was waiting for the people who were going to come to their defense. One person said like, "Hey, Gary Fee follows these guys. They are established with 8-bit, like the 8-bit me app back in 2010 and all that stuff." And so at that point, I just started doing some digging into each person and all that stuff, like, and they're all legit. Like that's how I found out, like they're all legit people. And for being a 0.03 like floor price, and they are followed by some big names,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I pitched the idea to you. I was like, yeah, this might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
so I guess so. In your mind, after I pitched the idea to you, like, what made you want to hop on?
I think it was mainly just the history that the people in this team have had. Just seeing because of course, at that time we didn't know for an absolute fact that Gary V, had connections to them.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, that's of course cool if that's true, but we don't have proof of that. Now we do, which is awesome. But
yes,
at that time we didn't. So I was more focused on, okay, let's just look into the team. I remember this 8-bit app. So if I can find that this really is the people who made that app and, ran it and everything, then yeah, I mean, it makes sense to buy into this project because they've got real experience and have a reputation to keep up. So looked into it a little bit, more so just looking into them a little bit, and discovered that, like you said, these guys are all legit. It's, it's really them, and they're it seems like they're just trying to get back into the game a little bit, and they seemed passionate about this project. So it really didn't take me very long at all. Joined the Discord, and that was that. I mean, as soon as I saw that they were legit, I was down. So I think that was really my reason why I was good to buy into this project, just because it seemed to me that there was no feasible way they could rug pull or anything like that. Like unless they just wanted to ruin their lives, which I don't know why you'd want to do that, you know?
Yeah. Back to what we said about, being fully doxxed and being held accountable.
Yeah. So to me, it was just like, there's no way that'll happen. So that's why we bought into it. It was a good project and a good team that, like we mentioned earlier, we bought in with, 130 combined, and, they have everything to lose and we have next to nothing to lose. So
yeah. Like $65 each.
Yeah. So that was kind of my decision-making process, and I'm glad we did. It was so weird. After we bought it, we were watching it, and Four started kind of go up a little bit. It went up to, it was going up to 0.2. And then, it went up to 0.5. And it's like, oh, okay, it's turning out pretty good. Then it goes up to 0.8. It's turning out really good. And then that next day, that next 24-hour period.
Not even 24-hour period, overnight.
Yeah, went up to 1. Okay, so it hit 1 before I went to bed. I remember it hit 1 before I went to bed. I stayed up to watch it hit 1. Was like pumped, right? Went to bed, woke up the next morning. It's at like 1.89 or something. I'm like, holy shit. Is this actually going to hit 2? A couple hours later, hits 2. A couple hours later, it's 2.5. I'm like, what is going on? And then it steadied out, which is a good thing. But it kind of gave us a glimpse into what's to come, which I liked. There were so many people that sold right then. They were like, oh, hell yeah. Which, I mean, I guess I get it, but
yeah, take your profits, definitely.
Yeah, but I'd rather, and I feel like you feel the same way, with a project like this, that nothing's guaranteed, of course, but a project that has the momentum and all the right tools to go much higher than 2.5, I would rather just wait, So, and especially because as of now, we're still up a lot. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Like at this point, like the creators got a rug pull and it zeroes out, and that's how we lose our money.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not going to happen. So I mean, guess on to our next question: did we gain or lose? We gained.
We've gained so far.
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's unrealized. So I mean, it's how much we would gain if we sold, but we're not selling. Yep. It's just not going to happen.
No, it is not. So yeah, as of now, we've gained money, and we're watching it relatively closely. Although I feel like I haven't really been watching it a whole lot the past couple of days.
No, I haven't either. I mean, I would I'll take a look at the floor price, see like what kind of activities going on. But I mean,
yeah.
Outside of that, I think we're just there's not really too much to pay attention to because of Bored Ape Yacht Club's other side meta. Yeah. It's no attention's being put anywhere else.
Yeah. So the only time I was in the past 4 or 5 days, the only thing that I've been focused on is getting my mom her 8-bit, and we got it.
Oh yeah,
we got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say congratulations on that.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, we got it, and after that, haven't really looked at anything. Just I'm kind of I was obsessing over it, and I finally was able to break free of that. Got her the 8-bit and just kind of left it alone, and it's it's going to be a long-term hold to get it to. I mean, I feel like in 3 months we could technically sell for a big profit, but I don't want to, you know?
No, this is definitely a year plus
Yeah.
hold.
So I think I've kind of pushed past that little period of obsessing over the price, and it's like it's bottoming out. It's, you know, it's a healthy drop, and like you said, there's no focus on any project other than other side right now, so there's not really a point in even looking at it for the next, honestly, probably like month or two.
Yeah, people are going to try to get their hand in on other side.
Yep.
So, but once that hype's over and everything's like kind of going back to normal, there'll be a lot more money in the market for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So that spells good things.
Yeah, for sure. We have in our notes here a little section for what did we learn. Obviously we haven't sold, but I do think this is still a valid question. And I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier about having a doxed team, a fully doxed team.
Yeah.
And how, like, what I learned from Boobas is that I prefer to buy into a project with a fully doxed team. And what I've learned so far from this one is that I still feel that way because of the success that we've had with this one so far with a fully doxed team.
Yeah. And also like connections are crazy important too. Like that's just how it is though. Connections will make even like the worst person, you know, super rich. So
yep, it's true.
Yeah.
So we do have one more project in our line of sight as of right now. Neon Pantheon. I will be 100% honest with you. I don't know a whole lot about the team behind it. But their idea is very cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I'll go ahead I'm going to get their white paper pulled up because first it's super small. Like it's like an easy 5-minute read, just basically what they're all about.
Okay.
Put like their team and all that stuff. They don't have a set roadmap yet, but
it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But so Neon Pantheon. Who's the team? So we have Danny, who, all right, so you told me that you were fangirling over Curly Fuck. I was fangirling over Danny because back in high school I used this D&D app to basically like make your like, you know, the 8-bit character, like not 8-bit, but like 8-bit pixel characters. And I found out like 2 weeks ago that he was the creator of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So so that begged me like because he was telling me he was like a Kickstarter and all that stuff. So I looked up the Kickstarter, 18,000 backers, dude.
Wow.
Like this thing took off. So like that's already signed that he has. I mean, it's not a crypto or NFT, but he has a successful project underneath his belt. That and do you know who Liam O'Brien is?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think that I do.
So he's a voice actor. He is in Critical Role, and I don't know if you've seen The Legend of Vox Machina, but he's a voice in one of the one of the characters as well. He actually gave that project a shout out on his Twitter.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So yeah, and then I haven't heard too much from the other people. There's Vadim. This is a worldwide project, so I will definitely be butchering these names. I apologize if that is your name. Yeah, he's their software engineer with over 14 years of experience. I mean, I'm just going to take the word on that because for software engineers, like you have to look through their GitHub, which I'm not going to do because I'm not going to understand anything. I'll just run it and hope it works. So I'll take his I'll just take his word on that. Then we have Yu Ming, and I think Yu is a female. I could be wrong though. I'll just go with Yu. But Yu actually co-founded Give.Asia, which is one of the largest personal crowdfunding platforms in Asia. So I haven't dug too deep into it, but it's like a really cool like community. It was like a really cool community thing.
Yeah.
And then you have Brian Hall and Red Dolan, and I believe that they are. So Brian Hall, he is a professor in the audio field. So okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so he's an audio professor.
Oh, okay.
So
that's really cool.
That's kind of sick. Red Dolan is the product design and development. Has been in product design development since 2003. Currently leading design ops and is a staff program manager at VMware Design. Has managed several large-scale programs servicing thousands of people. So, and also the last person who was like, it's honestly crazy, is Zeneca 33.
That
sounds very familiar.
So Zeneca, he is a owner of he's one of the he's the advisor for the group, and so like huge following on Twitter, huge following, Bored Ape Yacht Club member. He's like setting up his own like multiverse thing called the Zen Academy. And so they are collabing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's just really cool. So that's the team. That's like the actual first full dive we've gotten into a team, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So I think their project is really cool. It's they have, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember seeing that you can travel like in real life and use augmented reality to see these NFTs out in public. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is,
yeah,
that's so cool. I have not seen that from any other project.
And one person actually raised up a good concern in the Discord because they were saying like, so what if we're not able to like go out and like see these shrines or whatever? Like, what do we do then? And their solution to that is actually setting up like a, like, you know what GeoGuessr is, right? Yeah. Kind of like that, where you can like just kind of take out your phone and you like look all over the world at these like specific shrines that aren't available in your country. So like anyone that's like living outside of the US, like let's say they're living in Canada, they'll be able to open up their phone and locate like a shrine that's in Arizona. Someone in the United States can look up one that's in like Japan.
Yeah.
So
that'd be really
and
cool.
you know, on top of that, yeah, and you can travel out to see them too if you're close enough, which is super cool.
So these guys have not minted out, or not even, sorry, that's not necessarily the right. Their mint hasn't started yet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
Which I respect why they're doing it. So basically, like we said earlier, Other Side has officially been released, and all the focus is on Other Side, and they wanted to wait to have their mint until after all that craziness has died down some, which I totally get. That makes perfect sense. So, but I think they're going to do really well on their mint day, whatever that ends up being.
Oh, I definitely agree. Like,
I mean, we'll be in on that for sure.
oh, for sure. They just had a constant stream of support, in collaborations as well. Oh, where was their? I saw. It was on their website. Their website shows like their whole collaborations, and I think one of the craziest things. I think I could be mistaken, but I think the World of Women Alpha group. I think that was their one of their biggest like collaborations. They still plan on doing. They plan on doing a lot bigger stuff too. Like I just think at the moment that getting World of Women like collaborating with this is just really cool.
Oh yeah.
I think their plan is to actually collaborate with Moonbird. Either that or I could have been misunderstanding.
I mean, that would be awesome.
But just
That's a project. Sorry, going back to World of Women. I wish we had been in on that. I think that project is so cool.
oh yeah, definitely.
Too late now, but
because it's I mean, yeah, it is. It is what it is. But like that was like a 100% like women team.
yep, women-led
right?
team.
Just
And I mean the art's really cool, but I really like it was kind of a pioneer in that it was a women-led team, and I think it was the first, or maybe just like one of the very first ones. Instead of being the first, maybe it was like the second or third, but it was the first women-led team that popped off, you know. And it's a really cool project, and I know they just had their they rolled out their second I forget what they called the second thing, but basically their second line of NFTs. And I want to say it was either each wallet that holds a World of Women got one just for free, or each World of Women NFT got one of the new ones. So like if you had, we'll just say 3 in your wallet, I think it was that. It was per NFT. So if you had, we'll say 10 in your wallet, I think you got 10 of these, the new line that they just released, and those are really cool too. They had a few of them were champions of these new ones, and those were one-of-one hand-drawn women in this project. So if you got a champion, you got a hand-drawn by the artist NFT, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is actually that's super dope. I hope that one day we can get a one-of-one.
Yeah.
Like unless like we absolutely needed the money, I don't think I'd ever sell our first one for one.
No, me either.
So that was a team. So we kind of mentioned a little bit what their project is. Their project is basically they have it. So it's all begins like at minting. So I'm just going around on their white paper, because it kind of describes their minting experience. Okay. A unique minting experience. You will be able to customize your ascended deity using a first of its kind rarity point system. So you mint a soul orb at 0.08 with a random max rarity score limit. Each trait is assigned rarity points. Rare traits cost more. I don't know exactly what that part means. Rare traits cost more.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure they'll explain it when that time comes.
Yeah. Unlock the soul in the orb to customize the deity by choosing the traits they want, as long as the total rarity points for the traits does not exceed that. Oh, okay. Okay, so I remember. So I'm pretty sure someone explained it to me that so each deity will come with like a set like I guess for like comparing it's like a video game. Think of like skill points, like you know how you can like put only a certain amount in. So that's like kind of like with rare traits cost more. So for each item that you put on the character will have like its cost or whatever associated to that.
Okay.
So I think that's how it works, but I would have to go back through and read.
I mean, it sounds right.
Yeah, message. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't know why I didn't scroll up a little bit. So, like for example, so like an orb rarity could be 2100, and if you put on a specific clothes for it, that'll cost 457 of that 2100 points.
Okay.
So you have basically a 2100 point budget to customize your deity however you see fit.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, so you're essentially minting and then therefore creating your own NFT. It's not a one for one, because I mean some traits that you use, other people will be able to use those traits. But it's so cool that even from the get-go, your NFT is going to already feel unique to yourself.
Yeah, which is very cool. And then didn't they say like you get to kind of like write its story basically?
Yeah, you get to customize its like shrine, and and you get to write its like lore for like the Pantheon.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. And they were, I remember they were talking about that and like saying, you know, you don't have to get personal, obviously, but it can really be very personal to you, the story behind it. And, or, you know, it could be about, you know, issues in society or, you know, whatever. It can be about really anything. And I think we'll get to see some really cool stuff in that project and some really cool stories from people.
Oh, definitely. Like some of the Genesis like stories are really cool. Like, because like it's just cool. It allows such creative freedom for the community. Like this is like it feels like, I know like NFT projects should be for the community, but like this like how this project is set up is strictly meant for the community to help create like this whole world. Like the artists and all that stuff, they designed all of the stuff that you can attach to your deity, but you're the one that's going to kind of bring it to life.
Right.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's getting the proper amount of attention. Obviously, it should get more, but I think with the group that they have running with right now, I think they're getting a great amount of attention.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just a really cool project, and I feel like I haven't really seen anything else like it. So that's kind of one of those that like if we don't make much money off of it, it's completely fine because it's such a cool idea and the artwork is fantastic. So I'm excited for it, and this is one of those that I'm like, of course, in the long run, I'd love to make money off of it, but if I don't, I'm not even really going to be that upset, just because I think it's cool. I think it's cool enough to justify buying it just because of that, anyway.
I think its potential could definitely go above one Ethereum.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I absolutely like, this is just me personally, one thing that I absolutely love, which is really funny because back to Boombas, when we thought, you know, staking wasn't really that common of a thing. Mm-hmm. Apparently it's super saturated, like oversaturated at this point. Like every project in their mother's project has some sort of staking coin or whatever. Mm-hmm. But Neon Pantheon, not like they have a currency system, but it's not a token. It's not something you're staking. It's not something you get money out of. It's basically in-game currency.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So so it's called Faith, and with this Faith, you can claim weekly, like, or for us, we'll get bi-weekly, but you can claim bi-weekly airdrops. You can ascend a deity from another project, but that's only if you're holding a Genesis.
Okay.
You can sacrifice another deity that you own for a specific trait. Probably one that's like specifically outside of that deity's budget. Mm-hmm. You can re-roll a particular trait. You can purchase more shrine customizations and their seasonal activities and rewards, and you will be able to get merch with it. So if we're able to, I think getting 2 of these is going to be in our best interest. One for just the quick flip, and the second for the long term.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It's hold on. Give.Asia, a social crowdfunding platform that raised $72 million in donations.
Wow.
That's crazy. And then then the Reroll app with 1.1 million users.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So this project is in very capable hands.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think their mint should be coming up relatively soon. I'm sure they'll probably announce that maybe even as soon as the end of the week.
Yeah, they said they're going to give it about 4 or 5 days in advance.
Okay, sweet.
So,
yeah.
So,
okay. Well, do you have your eyes on any other projects for the future?
I wouldn't say I have my eyes on it. I was just more interested in it because I've heard it before, but it's called Unifriends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I joined that server this morning, actually.
Yeah, and the only reason why it caught my attention was because the floor price is 0.015, and that's because they tried to bring out a mint during the other side rally.
Oh, yep, that'll be hard.
Yeah, so that's just what they have working against them. But they their utility isn't really that special because I think it's just like the staking for coins and video game and all that stuff. But what's interesting about them is that they're planning on doing like a Fall Guys Mario Party type of game with the NFTs.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they do a lot of poker.
Well, we do like some poker, don't we?
Yeah, for like actual prizes. So that's just what caught my attention. I don't know if I'll buy into it specifically. It's one of those where it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you do and it doesn't matter if you don't.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I do like poker.
What about you?
Yeah,
well, you might be able to win something from poker.
I don't think there's any that are standing out to me right now. I think I'm just kind of all in on 8-bit and Neon Pantheon right now, and just getting those two things set up for us. I'm like actively looking and stuff like on Twitter and seeing if anything catches my eye, but I'm not like super into anything at the moment. So
yeah,
I definitely want to. I guess this is another lesson that I learned in Boombas is I just want to make sure and take our time and really look into stuff before we decide to spend money on it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So nothing that's catching my eye at the moment, but I'm sure that will change at some point.
Oh yeah, it's more of a win and not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried. Something will come.
Yep.
So NFTs. Why? So people like getting into them for their various reasons and all that fun stuff. What's essentially your end goal with NFTs?
I think I would like to be able to have financial freedom later on in life. And I think one way that you can do that is by building up an NFT wallet that is worth something. And then when that time in your life kind of passes and you're done collecting and all that, you've got this wide range of NFTs that you can sell, or, I mean, if you want to hold on to them, I guess you could, but I don't know that I'd probably keep my NFTs forever. I don't think most people will keep them forever, but I do want to be able to have a cool collection of art, digital art, and keep what I want and sell what I want and be able to live comfortably later on. As of now, obviously we're young, we can keep working and it's, not a big deal, but yeah, later on I definitely want to be able to have some financial freedom, and I think that NFTs could be a great way to do that. But I think to really give just one point of what I want to accomplish from NFTs is to have a cool collection and sit on it as long as I possibly can, and then sell it and hopefully make some money off of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's financial freedom was kind of the big thing for me as well, because I think I fell into the trap of like, oh, look at these fucking influencers that made millions of dollars off of NFTs. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of got me into it. But no, yeah, financial freedom, and I don't know, I just think that'd just be a good like base to like just start off on, because most NFTs you can buy in relatively cheap.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think just being able to buy in low and be able to sell high. So just get like just funding, and the NFTs are cool. So I'm sure there's going to be one NFT that's just going to bring like utility that's just going to change the game at some point. So that's kind of what I want to see too.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I would love to have a collection that earns me, like passive income in some way. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I'm making enough off of them, I ain't never gonna sell. If I'm making enough.
As long as the money's still rolling in.
Yep.
That'll be good.
I think that about wraps up this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really think there's much more to talk about with NFTs. We probably mentioned some NFT specific phrases and all that stuff. I can't remember what, but I mean, most of them you can just find just by like Google searching.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I know we talked about like utilities and stuff like that. If you're not sure what those are, yeah, you can look them up, or I mean, you can go to our Twitter. Which actually, you know what? Last episode, we said that we would have a Twitter up, and we do. And that Twitter is at DGZ_podcast. And you can go there and ask us any questions you want. Talk to us about the podcast. Doesn't have to be questions, just statements too. You can tell us we suck.
yeah,
And,
love to see it.
Whatever you want to say. But
Yeah, DMs are open if you need to shoot us a message for anything, or just, tweet so the public can see it.
yep. So, yeah, go there, ask us any questions, say any statements, do whatever you want. But I think that'll about wrap us up. We will see you guys next week for episode 4, where we talk about more of whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, WikiHow articles. We're going to talk about WikiHow articles.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Some of those are just so stupid.
I know.
Anyway, we'll get into it next week, though. All right.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. If you're on Spotify, watch us on YouTube. Get us another view. If you're on YouTube, join us on Spotify.
Sounds good to me. All right. Peace.
All right. See ya.